Hello and welcome to a new video. Today we're gonna take a look at the Rayquaza in the Open Ultra League, which is a Pokemon that you rarely really see. We're going to have a very strong overpowered team around it though, so it's going to make this all a little bit easier, and it definitely worked out fairly well for me. Definitely a Pokemon that has a lot of potential, which you're going to see in this video as well. And of course, currently, while you watch this, I'm most likely away in London for the Go Fest, so we're gonna get the release of Mega Rayquaza, which is going to be also very exciting. Hopefully I can do some videos also in London for my channel with new content, but otherwise you're going to see it all afterwards anyway, so it's going to be very exciting. Honestly, I can't wait to showcase all the Pokemon like XL Carving, like the Yancy, like so many Pokemon going to be released or like coming up there, so it's going to be very exciting for me. Can't wait for that. But otherwise, we're going to take a look at a team here with Giratina as a Say-Swap, the Rayquaza in the back, and the Registeel in the lead. I played some different leads before, didn't really work out that well. That's why I went back to the old classic overpowered version of the Registeel, but this team itself worked out so well. It is so good at just debuffing opponents with the Rayquaza or the Registeel as well with Zap Cannon. It just has so much potential. One of the worst Pokemon to face though is going to be the Sandslash here. So let's see how we're going to play around this Pokemon. It's a little bit tricky. Like, honestly, it's very tricky to play against the Sandslash. I'm going to go for the bait here always, basically, but the opponent always going to shield anyway, which is nice. But you're gonna always try to get the attack drop here, so the Run is not going to damage us too much here, but we're still going to shield, because we kinda have to keep our Registeel alive. This time around, I'm not gonna go for the bait. This time around, I'm gonna go straight for the Focus Blast, and I'm gonna get the shield here, while I'm trying to catch a move here onto my Giratina, which did not work out. This seems to be a weird play, but I don't want to get all the Drill Run energy basically onto my Registeel, so that's basically why. Also, we have an ABB line, so if they have a Fairy-type Pokemon in the back, we kind of have to bait it out anyway. Here we were able to bait out the opponent's Giratina, which is okay for us, as we can go ahead and go for the Dragon Claw here as well. But it's going to still be a little bit awkward, as we're going to see here right now. The Dragon Claw coming through, going to knock us out. We can try to knock them out, but we're going to have to try to catch the Ice Punch here, and we can catch the move, which is going to be amazing for me, as it's going to be the Ice Punch against us. They're still going to outspeed us here to a Drill Run, but they're gonna go down afterwards, and we have some energy lead already onto our Rayquaza. We have some health still left on our Registeel here, so that can be something in the back that we can beat, and it's going to be a Golisopod. Very interesting Pokemon. They are forced to go for the Liquidation here right now to knock me out, but I can go straight for the Breaking Swipe, which is going to get the debuff immediately onto them. So we should be able to survive any kind of move, and their move timing was so bad that we're gonna get a free fast move in right now as well, which will allow us to outspeed the opponent, and we will be able to knock them out here with our Rayquaza in the bag. Let's take a look at the next game here. We're going to have the Registeel against Escamri in the lead. Amazing lead for us right now, but we will have to see what comes in. It's going to be a dub wall. Let's see what we can do here. We can go ahead and go for one Focus Blast, but not before they're gonna go ahead and go for a payback. So, what I kind of want to do here right now is I want to try to hit a Focus Blast onto the opponent, and then I can swap out. Because as soon as I hit a Focus Blast, I will be able to put them into a range where I can knock them out with one Dragon Claw from our Giratina, and this is all I kind of want. So I'm going to overfarm by a little bit here, going to go for the Focus Blast. They're going to let this move go through, and I can swap out into my Giratina, which will be fairly decent for us, as we can go for a charge move here, and even the Skarmory will not have the greatest time against us here, which is going to be very nice. So we can go for the Shadow Sneak against the opponent here, which is going to do a decent amount of damage. You need Shadow Sneak on the Giratina, by the way. There's no way you can really run this team if you run Ancient Power, because you're just going to be too weak against other Steel-type Pokemon. Yeah, of course, you have your lead, which is going to be okay for it, but you just need the Shadow Sneak for the matchup against other Registeels, for example. So definitely Shadow Sneak on this Pokemon compared to like what you usually would go for. But here they're gonna actually go for the big Brave Bird and going to knock me out. But I can go ahead and go into my Rayquaza, and we're gonna get out the opponent's Scrafty here, which will not appreciate the Rayquaza, as we're going to be able to resist counter. We can let the move go through. It's going to be a debuffed foul play, and we will just be able to get to another Breaking Swipe, which is going to get another debuff onto them. We just have to shield one more time, and I can just throw them down afterwards if I want to, and I definitely want to, as we're going to then align our Registeel against the opponent's other Pokemon. And we will now be able to just go for the full farm down and knock them out, as they're going to still have the Skarmory in the back, but they know already this game is over. Next opponent, another Alone Sandslash in the lead. Honestly, I kind of have to try to find a Pokemon that beats Deoxys defense, the Alone Sandslash, as well as what is otherwise common. Dragonite is also super common right now on the lead. I think this would be a perfect Pokemon then if there's something that could beat all of them. But right now, like, basically every lead is either a Level 1 Sandslash or a Dragonite or a Deoxys Defense, depending on what you're going to encounter here. There's not really a lot of variety here, which is like decent and bad at the same time. But yeah, here we're going to be able to get both shields from the opponent already, and we're going to try to catch a move again, and this time around it actually seems like it worked out fairly well for us. So let's see what we can do here. We're going to be able to go ahead and go for the Shadow Sneak against the opponent here, and this is going to go ahead and do hopefully some decent damage, as we will be able to now go ahead and go for another Shadow Sneak here. But this one, of course, gonna go onto the opponent's Clefable here, which will take this fairly easily, as we don't even get to another one, as they're going to be able to knock us out with a Moonblast. But of course, now they're going to be trapped into this Pokemon, which definitely does not appreciate the matchup against the Registeel. One Zap Cannon should not knock them out, but put them into range where I can just farm them down with just a few lock-ons. Let's see here, Zap Cannon coming through, does not knock them out. Gonna get the attack drop though, and we can farm them all the way down, but they still get to another move here, where it's going to be just a Meteor Mash. We can still farm them all the way down, but they're going to snipe with the Sandslash here. Really bad for us, but now it's just coming down if Rayquaza can win us the game here alone. We know that they have the 1 HP Clefairy still in the back. We know about the Sandslash here. We can go for one charge move here. This is going to knock them out. So it's all depending on what they're going to have in the back. It's going to be a Jellicent. And you know already, Jellicent is a bulky boy. Jellicent doesn't know what it's doing. And Jellicent going to be a very big wall here. Even though we're going to do a ton of damage with our fast move and our charge move here, the Shadow Ball going to put us into farm down range, and there is not a lot that we can do here anymore. We had to hope that they're going to try to catch or something, but they didn't. And we can move on to another Jellicent here. Jellicent is everywhere. Jellicent is not a Pokemon that I like to face, but Ampharos is going to be okay for us, as we can go ahead and go for one charge move here. Focus Blast going to put them now into Dragon Claw range for my Giratina. And this is alright for us. Brutal Swing going to do a ton of damage though, but still going to be okay. We can go ahead, let this move go through here. We're gonna go for another fast move and then throw our Dragon Claw, which is going to knock them out if they're going to no-shield this move, which they're most likely going to do here, as they're gonna go back into the Jellicent. But this is a cool thing here as well. Right now, Hex is not doing too much damage. We are very bulky, even though it's super effective. Hex doesn't do too much damage in general. So we're actually going to be able to reach 2 more Shadow Sneaks, and those are super effective moves, and those do definitely hurt against the opponent here. And we're gonna put them now into range where one Dragon Tail is enough. But of course, we don't sneak the Dragon Tail in, which is how it's supposed to happen. We should get the fast move through, but no, we don't, because the game is currently broken. But we're going to encounter a Virizion in the back right now, which we can go ahead and go for a Dragon, what's called Breaking Swipe here, which is going to get the debuff onto the attack, and they cannot swap out here anymore. The attack debuff going to be permanent, as we're going to see a Sacred Sword coming through. If they even run the move, what's called Stone Edge here, it's going to be interesting, but I don't think they actually do here, as they're going to go for another charge move. Do they run Stone Edge or not? We will find out now. They do not. They run Sacred Sword, and this is going to be it, as they're going to have to forfeit here right now. Next opponent, a Alolan Muk in the lead. I honestly can't say that I completely did not pay attention to this battle. I remember this one, I was like super like, what do they have in the lead? I completely forgot about everything here. So here I'm going to swap out very late into my Giratina. Most likely it would have been actually better to just go straight into my Rayquaza. She had once farmed down. But no, I didn't, and because I just didn't pay attention too much, I forgot what they had in the lead already. And we're going to see here right now that they're going to go ahead and go into a different Pokemon that you might expect. It's going to be the Clefable. So we're going to have here a matchup where I definitely need to use my Registeel quite a lot. So yeah, I just didn't know that. I completely forgot what they had in the lead, and I am not playing around this too much. So you're going to see me not shielding my Registeel at all. You're going to see me using my Registeel like if it was nothing. But let's see here. They're gonna go for a Moonblast, still going to actually chunk quite a bit, and they're going to have a lot of energy here right now, so they can still get to another one, and we will see the Moonblast coming through, going to do some decent damage. I can go for the Zapkin here, and this is going to definitely hurt them quite a bit, but if they shield, it's going to be tough, and they do shield. So, yeah, what I should have done, I should have shielded already a Moonblast prior, because I know that the opponent has a Muk in the back now, after rewatching the gameplay there. So, yeah, for them, it is definitely making sense for them to keep their Clefable around. Like this, I'm going to basically just try to get the opponent's Clefable low and try to swap out to my Rayquaza now and maybe knock them out with an Ancient Power. But, yeah, this is going to be a difficult one. They're going to go for the Moonblast. I can still overfarm by a little bit, and this overfarm might actually proven to be crucial here, but let's see, they're gonna go back into their muck. They haven't gone to any charge move yet. I can go for one here right now. They are at 5 fast moves now. And they definitely have a charge move here. I don't know why they didn't throw a Dark Pulse. Honestly, this is going to knock them out. I don't know why they didn't do this. I don't know what they tried to do. I actually literally I don't have any clue about this game there right now. But this is going to be very nice for us. But next game going to be not as nice as they're going to have the Pidgeot. I'm going to stay in here for a little bit, go for one charge move, and then I can swap out into my Giratina. I can get some damage onto them with a Focus Burst here, or get the shield, and I take the shield as I can catch a move onto my Giratina, which is going to be a double resisted Focus Burst, which literally does no damage at all. And I can go back into like here with a Shadow Sneak, which is going to do some decent damage against the opponent before they can debuff me with the Zapcan here right now. So that's going to be fine. As the Zapcan comes through here, going to do some decent damage, but doesn't debuff. But they were already able to swap out. I was like so surprised by this. I didn't think that the switch lock was up yet, and it isn't up yet for me. And I make a mistake here by not going for the charge move first. I should just ran for the Dragon Claw, and I would have been able to swap out as well. But like this, the opponent going to be able to keep their Pidgeot alive. But they make a mistake here, in my opinion, which is going to go ahead and go for the Brave Bird here instead of the other move, because it's going to now allow me to not be devassed, so the Focus Burst is still going to do a normal damage against the opponent's Registeel, which is going to be very nice, as we're going to put the opponent already into range for that one. But they're actually going to run a Virizion in the back, and it's going to be a tough one now. I have to try to go for 2 Breaking Swipes to get the opponent's Registeel low enough that I'm going to be able to survive a Zap Cannon from it onto my Rayquaza. You also see actually how much damage a lock-on does here. They're of course going to get immediately the debuff as well onto us with the Zap Cannon, but I can go for another charge move here, Breaking Swipe coming through. And I most likely make a small mistake here, or like actually a pretty huge mistake. Of course the opponent could have Stone Edge onto the Pokemon in the back, but I don't think they would. Like, I don't think they would have a Stone Edge onto Virizion. And for this time here, I thought I'm just going to be cheeky and clever, and I'm going to go ahead and go for a timeout strat. Which means I'm going to have to keep both of my Pokemon alive, because I think I'm going to be able to survive this round and the next round with both of my Pokemon still left. But, yeah, we see already the time is ticking down a little bit. Like, we're already very far into the match. We are around like the 4-minute mark right now. But I just need the debuff here, and I think I'm fine, right? Zapcan comes through, we're gonna get the debuff here, which basically I was at this point of time thinking, yeah, I'm having the save here. But no, the opponent gets to the Sacred Sword, and with exactly 1 second left, they still get to another Sacred Sword to knock me out here, and the timeout strat didn't work out. We're going to lose based on the HP there. Like, basically, if you don't know how timeout, by the way, works in this game, it always wins first the person that has more Pokemon left, no matter how many, how much HP is on them still, and then who has more HP on their final Pokemon, if they both have 1 Pokemon left. So yeah. Here, I was not able to win because my Rayquaza are too low of HP, and my Registeel went down 1 second before the time went down. So that's of course really, really sad, but still we can take a look at the next game here. We will encounter another Registeel, but this time around against our Giratina, which is going to have a great time here. The opponent goes back into their Clefable, and I can go for 1 charge move here. Shadow Sneak comes through, and you're going to see me right now as well going for the Dragon Claw here. This doesn't seem to make too much sense, right? But this allows me now to swap out my Giratina before they can go for 1 Moonblast. And like this, I can just go ahead and go for a Zapcan against the Clefable, have a better matchup here with my own Registeel, and I don't have to give up my Giratina yet, because this Pokemon can still come in clutch later against the opponent's Registeel again, while I can go for a full farm down here against the Clefable, which is going to be nice, basically leaving them at a range where even my Rayquaza can deal with them, and they go back into their Registeel, allowing me to go for another charge move against them, which they most likely going to let go through as well. And we will find out the final Pokemon going to be the Gliscor. I can go for a Zapcannon here. This is totally okay for me. Zapcannon going to do some decent damage against the opponent still, and they're going to let this move go through, allowing me now to have a debuff onto them, and I can take Night Slashes now, which is very nice for me. I just have to hope that they don't boost against me here right now, as I can go for a Dragon Claw that's going to get the shield from the opponent. I will get to hopefully another one, but no, they go for the charge move themselves, which is really nice for me. They're a little bit energy drier now, so it's going to be fine for us to just go for a full farm down here. I'm not going to care too much about the first Night Slash. They might boost afterwards. Now I can shield up. But yeah, they have 1 HP still left here. They're going to still have a 1 HP Clefable, which has a move stored. But there's nothing they can do. Rayquaza is going to finish up this final game with just a full farm down here for both the Pokemon on the back. So yeah, that's going to be it for today's video. Rayquaza had a lot of fun in the Ultra League. I hope you enjoyed this one. It's better than you might expect, and I see you in the next one. Bye bye.